Hello and welcome to Him Tutorials once again. As it's me Poonam, I'm here to just help you in your online study. The first chapter, crop production, is going on, and the subtopic, agriculture practices, we are doing. We have done the preparation of soil, that is the first practice, and today we are going to do two more practices in the agricultural process. So for today, the learning objective would be we will learn the selection and sowing of seed, and then we will go for the adding manure and fertilizer. So without much delay, let's begin with the first objective of the day, which is the second practice. Okay, I will not write first in it, I will write second because it is second practice. So the second practice is selection and sowing of the seed. So in selection and sowing of the seed, the first thing which we have to go, that is the quality seeds we have to look for. We can't compromise with the quality of the seeds, because seeds, if the seeds are good, then the yield is naturally good. Okay, so we have to go for the good quality seeds first. Okay, the second thing which we have to look for in selection and sowing of seed, that is the proper sowing of seed. In proper sowing of seeds, we have to go for two types of methods. First is the manual method, and manual method is also called as broadcasting. Okay, this method is done with the hands. So the farmers are just with the hands, they are dipping the seeds into the soil without any estimate of depth and the distance between the two seeds. So that's why it is called as the broadcasting method also, and it is not so much good for the good yield of the plant. Okay, the second method is mechanical method, and in mechanical method we are using the machines, simple machines. Okay, and the machine which is used for sowing the seed, that is called as seed drill. Okay, now this seed drill is very much helpful in sowing the seeds. It is of two types, as it can be traditional, okay, or it can be modern seed drill. It can be modern seed drill. Okay, the traditional one was run with the help of cattles, with the help of hands, but the modern seed drill that runs with the help of machines like tractor. Okay, and in the seed drill, it is giving us many benefits. What are the benefits or what are the advantages of seed drill? Let's have a look on that. The first advantage is that the seeds are sown at proper distance from each other, and they are at proper depth from the soil. If they are sown at proper depth, then they are not easily eaten up by the birds or pests. Okay, so it is very helpful, because if the depth of the seed is proper, then it would not be eaten by the pests or the birds. Then if the distance is proper depth is there, then there is uniform distribution of seed. Okay, uniform distribution of seeds take place, and most important thing, which is thinkable point for us, that is it saves our time. It saves our time and energy also. So this is the more important time, because in today's scenario the proper utilization of time should be there, so it should not be wasted on any terms. So that's why this seed drill saves our time and also saves our energy and also saves our labor. Okay, now this practice we can go for those type of plants in which we are going to sow the seeds, but those plants in which the seeds are not sown directly into the field, that practice is called as transplantation. And as the name signifies, transplantation means we are just planting from the small nursery to the big field. How it is going to happen? In case of paddy, which is called as rice, okay, you know, it requires lot of water to grow, and some vegetables like chilies, tomatoes, what we do, we sow the seeds in the nursery, and when in the nursery those seeds are grown into small plants, tender plants called as seedlings. So we will going to transfer these seedlings, we will transfer these seedlings to the big field for the good growth and good yield of the crop. So this is all about the first thing that we have discussed. The first objective is over now, that the selection and sowing of the seed. It is very important step and we have to go for all the things step by step as we have discussed earlier. So now I am going to discuss about the second objective of the day, that is adding manure and fertilizer, and this is the third practice. So I am going to write here third practice, that is the adding manure and fertilizer. Now what is manure and what is fertilizer? We know that the farming is, we are doing farming in what? We are doing farming in soil. So in the soil, when there is any nutritive material is added, which is just increasing the productivity of that soil, that is called as manure or fertilizer. Okay, that is manure or fertilizer. Now when the manure or fertilizer is added into the soil, that process is called as manuring. Okay, so adding manure and fertilizer to the soil, that is called as manuring. And in the soil which we are, what we are adding? We are adding a nutritive material. And what is that nutritive material? That is manure or fertilizer. Now the question is that what is the need of adding the manure or fertilizer into the soil? So manures and fertilizers are just going to increase the nutritive value of the soil, which is just you can say used up by the process of farming. Once we have sown the seeds and the crops are grown and we harvest the crop, so many of the minerals are utilized by that crop. So the soil will become less nutritive in the fertility. Okay, it is less fertile at that time. So to just replenish means just to add the minerals again to the soil. Okay, just to add the minerals again to the soil, because once we harvest the crop, it becomes deficient in the nutritive value. So to improve that nutritive value, we have to replenish the soil with the help of manures and fertilizers. Okay, so that is why it is very important that we should go for the manuring and adding fertilizer again and again in the soil after a regular interval, when there is need of improving the fertility and the quality of the soil for the better yield of the crops. Okay, now in manure and fertilizer, first we will go for the thing that what are the manures. So what is manure? Manure is a organic material, and in organic material if we go for, then any plant and animal product, okay, any plant or animal product which is natural. Okay, when we are going to add these things to the soil, then it is called as we are adding manure. And manures are very good because it leads to the organic farming. We are not adding such chemicals to the soil and we are not spoiling the soil. Okay, so manures are very good for the soil because they are organic material, and what are they? They are plant and animal products, or plant or animal waste, or anything which is related to the plant and animal body. Okay, now what is the benefit of adding manure to the soil? It improves the texture of the soil, then it improves the retention of water in the soil, then it improves the air content in the soil, and if the air content in the soil increases, then what will happen? Then it will lead to more presence of oxygen in the soil, and that oxygen will be helpful in the breathing process and the respiration process of what? Microorganisms, and good microorganisms will proliferate there. Okay, and it will lead to a good production of the crops. Okay, now the manures are of three types of manures we are going to add in the soil. The first type is farmyard manure, that is farmyard manure. Second is green manure. Okay, first is farmyard manure, second is green manure, and third one is compost manure. Okay, the farmyard manure is that manure which is prepared with the help of animal dung, then urine, straw, and at the one end of the field we are just going to have a big pit, and we are just adding all the things like cow dung, urine of the animals, and all these things in that point, and just it is decomposed by the bacteria and fungi, and later it should be used as a farmyard manure. Okay, it is done in the farm, big farm, so that's why it is farmyard and manure. Then green manure. In green manure we are just decomposing the green plants. Okay, and in compost manure we are just going to eat number of things like sewage sludge, we can add vegetable refuse, we can add kitchen waste, okay, litter, many things are there, sugarcane thrash you can also add in it. Okay, so many things are just added in the compost, decomposed by the bacteria and the fungus, and later on it should be used as a good manure to increase the quality of the soil. And if we go for the compost, then how we can make compost in our home? In your kitchen garden, what you have to do, in your kitchen garden you have to dig a pit of 1 meter into 1 meter, that is length to breadth, and it must be 3 by 4 meter into depth. Okay, and in this pit you are just, firstly you are going to have the dry leaves. Okay, then you are going to have a kitchen waste over that, then you have to go for the layer of cow dung, then small amount of water, and again you are going to repeat this dry leaves, then kitchen litter, then cow dung, and you have to fill this pit up to the top. When it is filled up to the top by different layers of cow dung and water and just soil and this dry leaves, then at the top of the pit you have to go for the addition of the good layer of soil on it. And when you are going to cover it with the soil, good layer of soil, then you have to sprinkle the water over it at regular intervals, and after up to 3 months, you are going to have a good compost as a organic compost without any harmful chemical with you, and you can use this compost for the increasing the fertility of the soil in your field. Okay, so this is all about the manuring. Now next, the thing which we are going to learn, that is the second part. This is the A part, manure is the A part. Now we will go for the second part, that is the B part, that is fertilizer. Now fertilizers are the inorganic elements or inorganic materials, okay, which are synthesized in industries. And the fertilizers are not so much good as compared to manures, because we will discuss about that later on, that why they are not so much good. So 3 types of fertilizers we commonly used in our fields, that is, first is phosphatic fertilizer, second is nitrogenous fertilizer, and the third one is potassium fertilizers. Okay, so phosphatic you are using, nitrogenous fertilizers you are using, and potassium you are using. Okay, so these fertilizers are the common fertilizers which we are going to add in the soil to just increase the fertility of the soil. And these type of fertilizers are also giving some advantages to it. What are the advantages? They are increasing the nutritive value of soil quickly. Okay, and second is that they can be easily absorbed, easily soluble in water, So they can be easily, if they are easily soluble in water, so they can be easily absorbed by the plants. Okay, and third is that very less amount of these fertilizers are required to increase the yield. Okay, so less amount is sufficient, is used to increase the yield. And the last one is that they are very easy to carry. Easy to carry because they are almost dry. So the dry thing you can carry anywhere. If you are applying little amount of it also, then it will going to yield a very good result for the crop production. Okay, now the next are the disadvantages of what? Disadvantages of the fertilizers. First disadvantage is that they decreases the soil quality if uses again and again in large amount. Okay, if large amount is there, so that means they are harmful for the soil because they will make the soil acidic or alkaline. Okay, they will make the soil acidic or alkaline. Second, they lead to scorch the crop. If they are used in very large amount, then they will lead to burn the plants. Okay, and we are not going to have the good yield of the crop. So they scorch the crops. So they lead to scorch the crops. And the third one is that they are soluble in water. If they are soluble in water, they can easily leach down. What they can do? They can easily leach down, and if they can easily leach down, penetrate deep and deep into the soil, then they will add it to the water table which is present in the beneath the soil, and this water table we are using for our drinking purpose. Okay, so it will lead to land pollution also, or you can say soil pollution also, and same times it will lead to water pollution also. Okay, so these are the two main topics which we have discussed today. So I hope you understood the topics very well and very detailed, and up to our next video, up to the next step, keep watching and please keep learning. Thank you so much.